co-president of the Solidality's Discourse on Love, from Juliette, by the Marquis de Sade. We fancy there is happiness to be found in the affection we fancy women to have for us. But that sentiment, always meretricious, is always measured out. So much, so little, depending upon the need a woman calculates she has of us, or upon the sort of passion we flatter in her. Let age whiten our hairs, or let there be an adverse shift in our fortunes, so that we can no longer serve her pleasures, her greed, or her pride, and she abandons us upon the spot, frequently to become our most mortal enemy. In any case, we have no crueler foes than women. If we consult them for our pleasures, then they tyrannize over us. If we snub them, then they look for revenge, and always end up doing us ill. Whence it results that, of all man's passions, love is the most dangerous, and that against which he should take the greatest care to defend himself. To judge whether love be madness, is not the lover's distraction sufficient proof of it? Or that fatal illusion he entertains, which causes him to ascribe such charms to the object he dotes upon, and goes scampering about praising to the skies, not a flaw that has not been rewrought into a virtue, not a defect that does not become a beauty. All that is ridiculous in her is changed into grace. When the tempest subsides, and the lover, open-eyed, can coolly inspect the contemptible object of his enthusiasms, must he not, as he blushes before his despicable error, at least make firm resolutions never to be misled in the future? Inconstancy and libertinage, those, my brothers, are the two antidotes to love. Accustoming us to dealings with these false divinities, they both exert a gradual erosive action upon the illusion, till finally it is all eaten quite away. You cease sooner or later to adore what you see every day. Thanks to the habit of inconstancy and of libertinage, the heart loses, little by little, the dangerous softness which permits it to be susceptible to the impressions of love. Surfeited, it hardens, it toughens, and the patient may soon be considered cured. What? Shall I go mope before the door of this creature, who only lets me in at last to put the remnants of my good humor into hopeless disrepair? Shall I endure all this when, if I pause to think an instant, I realize that with perfect ease, and at the price of a few pennies, I can have the hire of a whore's body just as fair as hers? We must bear it ever in mind that the woman who strives to get us the most inextricably into her captivity is concealing flaws which would rapidly disgust us if we knew what they were. It is incumbent upon us to set our imaginations to envisaging these details, to probing after them, guessing at them. And this preliminary exercise, initiated at the same moment love is born, will, perhaps, succeed in extinguishing it. Be she a girl, she surely exhales some unhealthy odor, some rancid stink. If not, then later on, is it worth your while, sir, to pant after such a fetid cesspool? Be she a woman, that a horde of others have shot their spunk into her may, I admit, momentarily rouse our desires. But our love, think upon her. What is to be idolized there? This vast, gaping maw, this rancid canyon, that's cast out a dozen brats. Picture her giving birth, this treasure of your heart. Behold that shapeless mass of flesh squirms sticky and festering from the cavity where you believe felicity is to be found. Undress this, the idol of your soul, undress her. Is it over these two crooked and stubby thighs you propose to rave? Or over this foul, stinking, putrid gulf where they meet? Aha! It's perhaps this apron of matted hairs hanging untidily between those same thighs that fires your imagination. Or perhaps these two flaccid, wrinkled globes drooping happily onto her navel. Would it not be on this nearer side, but on the farther she harbors charms worth your homage? Lo, here they are, these two weary mounds of stinking, discolored flesh, sheltering a foul, rancid hole that connects with that other one. Oh yes, these are the wonders your mind battens on, and it is for their sake you sink yourself into a condition lower than the condition of an earthworm. But what's this? I am mistaken. You are not attracted by any of this. There are much finer qualities than these that spellbind you. It is that traitorous cunning character of hers, those perpetual dishonesties, that lying tongue, that shrewish, scolding tone, that voice like a disemboweled cat's, or perhaps this whorishness, or this prudery. For woman spends her life in the one or the other of those two extremes, this calumny, this spitefulness, this contrariness, this witless inconsequence, this ever nagging, cavilling, cawing, shrieking stupidity. Yes, yes, I see it clearly. Such are the attributes you cherish in her, and they doubtless merit going into a dither over. Think not that I exaggerate matters. If all these defects are not combined in the same individual, the one you worship surely has her share of them. If they escape your eye, that's because they are screened from your sight. But they exist, fear not, they exist. Clothing or education may disguise what would revolt you if you saw it. The defect is none the less real, even though you see it not, or not yet. Hunt for it before attaching yourself. You will ferret it out every time. And if you be wise, my friend, halt there rather than throw happiness and tranquility to the winds for the enjoying of an object which, certainly, infallibly, you will soon start to loathe. Oh, my brothers, contemplate a little the host of sorrows this baneful passion brings in its wake. The cruel maladies caused by the sufferings it gives, the material expenditures, the loss as well of sleep, of ease, of appetite, of health, the obligatory renunciation of all other pleasures, realizing the gigantic sacrifices it entails, and profiting from all these examples, do as does the prudent helmsman who steers not for the reef, littered with the hulks of 1,000 shattered vessels. Can you not forgo these dubious pleasures when life has so many other genuine ones to offer? Why, what is this I say? Life offers you the very same ones, and gives them to you free of any disagreeable accompaniments or aftermaths, since libertinage assures you the same enjoyments, and in return asks only that you clear them of this icy metaphysic, this despicable, absurd notion of love, which adds nothing to pleasures. Feast unrestrictedly upon everything that appeals to your senses. And in order to use a woman, must you necessarily love her? We all of us here feel, it seems to me, that a woman is made much better use of when she is not loved? Do we imagine that we prolong or increase our pleasures by some ludicrous flight of melancholy and madness? The purest nonsense. After 5 or 6 hours of her, have we not had quite enough of this woman? One night more, 100 nights more would only yield us the same pleasures, while other objects hold new ones in store for you. What? Millions of beauties await you, and you'd be such a fool as to bind yourself to one. Would you not smile at the simpleton who, invited to a magnificent banquet, ate of one dish only, though 50 others were offered to his delectation? It is diversity, it is change, that makes for the happiness in life. And if every single object on earth can procure you a new delight, what manner lunatic are you who would be the prisoner of somebody who can afford you only one? And that one of which you are so presently fond, be assured that it will have turned to disgust shortly. And if you have bound yourself to such a one, your regret will be abysmal, and your thirst for revenge upon her infinite and eternal.